Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs, 2Bs, GundamReviews.net, and Monday night means that there's another episode of Gundam Build Fighters, the newest anime, and the tournament has begun, and it looks like Sei and Reiji are about to have some fun as they meet some new opponents with some new help. For the quick recap, well, at the very beginning, China-chan is going to be wishing them luck as they get to head off to the tournament with some very cool Hado Omamori, so you can pick those up at temples, but if Bandai sold a green Hado, I'd pick one of those up. And I can't help but think, how cool would it be to be tuning in to sports instead of sumo and baseball? Why not have televised gunpla fights? Would be a lot of fun. And while they tease that Reiji is again not from Earth as he disappears instead, he's just heading off for his own food in his own style, and I have to laugh because he's on his own One Japan trip, heading around eating all the delicious food that Ramba Rao recommended to him, whereas Yorisei is going to be all dressed up and it's showtime as he meets his friends Mao and Fellini. I have to laugh as he's going to hit on Kirara, then he's going to end up getting drunk and she's going to be less than impressed. And I have to say that the boys, their dreams being broken, seeing him behave that way was well worth it for a good laugh. But the crux of the battle begins as we get to see Aida, the mysterious girl from the last couple episodes, who we all knew who she was from the beginning, is going to be out there stealing all of Reiji's most famous food as he runs around the mall. And of course, they're going to end up having to fight over a meat bun, which ends up in the ocean, and I can't help but laugh. Char and Amuro killing Lala in their battle, and here we have two future antagonists, perhaps with a little bit better relationship in the end, fighting over a meat bun. Can't help but laugh. But we got to see a whole bunch of quick cameos from lots of mobile suits out there before it was time for the debut of a new Gundam. Reiji and Sei and their new gunpla pulled it off, which means they're going to be advancing. And the show ends with that man right there, Yuki-senpai, who has all of a sudden become a little bit more famous and Kawaguchi'd. So I'm here today with M. How you doing?
Pretty good. Hello, everybody.
All right, so let's get right to it. The of the weeks, kicking things off with the Lego characters. M, who did you like this week?
Okay, so for me, for sure, it's Ira, because that's the character I've been waiting for weeks.
Now, is it the MS that makes her interesting or her attitude for you?
Well, actually both, because anyway, I'm going to talk about that later.
Very cool. Yeah. So for me, I had to laugh because Riccardo Fellini, yes, we got to see some goofiness there. We've seen him in a cafe strike out with gunpla, and we've seen him here with a little bit too much alcohol. Kirara seems to be having some redeeming values. We got to see her in both of her guises out there, and it's always good when we get to see old friends like Mao. But for me, I'm going to give Character of the Week to Reiji because he was just... First of all, just his unbridled enthusiasm. It was really fun watching the mom, and we got to see China-chan both blame their late entrance on Reiji. But this is a guy who just wants to run around, have a good time. He'll leave the worrying to Seiyori, and of course the gunpla building itself. Yeah. But we're getting more of an idea about his carefree attitude, but at the same time, so far, when the chips are down, he's there when it comes to battle and being at Sei's side, albeit occasionally late. So after a few quiet weeks with not too many cameos, this one with the tournament begun, we got to see lots of mobile suits in action. It was hard to keep up. There were so many on screen. Yeah. I think it's worth watching the episode twice.
I think so.
And just trying to catch all the MSs. So which ones caught your eye?
Well, that's really a hard decision because I almost like all of the cameos that showed up in the show. But, well, I really hope that there's not a plan of making them all into HGs, because otherwise I'll maybe possibly buy them all.
Bandai.
You win.
So did you have a favorite?
Okay, just to be safe, I would choose the O because it's already released.
That's very easy. Yeah. Well, for me, I don't even know if I've got these all straight. What do we see? Burgagiros out there. A G Gundam Snake. That's a big laugh. A Gelgoog. Was it wearing a skirt from Turn A? That looked great. And I think it was a Guneasy's head we saw blasted over. And we got to see, was it Versago and a Gundam, 00 Thrones and the O, like you said. I'm going to give... I like seeing the Burgagiros out there. That's just a lot of fun. The Gelgoog with his changed color schemes, it just seems the sky's the limit, and there's pretty much every MS you put out there is going to be looking pretty cool. All right, Tam, cameos aside, who was your favorite MS this week?
Okay, ain't no doubt about it. Straightforward to Kubli. Papillon.
That it's been a beast when it's shown up so far.
Right.
I love the design of the original Cube Blade, but
Yeah.
this one just seems like it's even more fun, even more cool.
Right, and just one scene, just 1 second, we didn't even know what happened, and it won.
As it took out a throne, the O, and was it Versago,
Yeah.
but 2 series-ending villains and a Papillon. Yeah, that was a very cool MS out there.
Right.
And as we learn more about the pilot and their mysterious nemesis team,
Right.
I can't help but think of Team Rocket. That is in high grade that I cannot wait to get my hands on.
Yeah, even MG.
For me, fans who have been around my channel for a while know that I'm a sucker for the lead Gundam. And here we got to see, we've seen the Build Strike, and all of a sudden we got the Build Mark II out there, and then they went back, and Yorisei, his face at the very beginning of the episode, when he built the Gundam and Reiji knocked over the sign, they were so exhausted from how crazy it was in the simulator. Well, for me, to see the star build, it was ridiculous and fun, and I think that's the whole point of the show. We got to see some V2-like wings, as we got to see some blue, and as I was watching him battle on the screen, all I could think about is how much I want the effect parts.
Right.
I want the yellow parts for the universe part, and I also want to have the actual pink wings. They looked like they were just blasting out of everywhere. And the one thing that I didn't look at that carefully, but it sort of struck me that maybe he was missing the blue chest and actually had a red chest. And that, it was probably just the coloring as he goes Trans Am there, or whatever it's called. But the idea being that this could be a recolor along the lines of the Sword Strike, or sorry, the Sword Impulse and things like that. And it's the kind of thing that, hey, if it's in my head and I like it in red, you know that Bandai wants us to go and get a spray can and give it a shot. But for me, the star build, ridiculous, and something I can't wait, and I hope we get it in MG as well. Final question, M. Favorite scene? What did you like this show?
Okay, I was about to choose the last battle that Sei and Rage did against all three. But it's a kind of funny because Mr. Sei, you showed your power too early. So maybe I would choose the other one, which is the fight about the meat bun between Rage and Iron. Yeah, that's because for me, that plot really shows something, because we know that for sure a battle will break out between them sooner or later. So that's more or less like a demonstration of a real battle before that. So, well, and the ending is kind of funny because actually at the last they lost the meat bun. So I was wondering that is there any like stronger character that would win them both? Like,
You mean to get the meat bun?
yeah. So
Yeah,
that
something
really
you-
shows something.
Something
I
you don't
wonder.
think about. And you've also got to wonder, with they both seeming to have the same reflexes, maybe they're from the same mysterious planet.
Yeah.
But for me, you know what? That could have easily been scene of the week. I already talked before, Char, Amuro, Lala up in space and how epic that was. And here we're getting to see people fighting over food. And it still feels like it's got some significance. My second favorite scene of the episode, though, was right at the end as we got to see the famous man, Kawaguchi. Yuki Senpai was recognized, of course, by the two boys. Can't wait to see the Camphor Amazing. Its design has grown on me a lot. But yeah, imagine that. They introduce a new lead at the final battle. I'm not even going to call that my favorite scene. My favorite scene was a little bit earlier. Reiji running around the mall getting all of his own food, but even better is the absolute humor that is imbued throughout the show as we got to see Sei get all dressed up and go and meet his old friends. And you can tell that they're going to be developing a team over time. And the humor with Fellini, and we got to see Kirala and just everything else about that. The scene made me laugh. It's lighthearted. And again, I always say this, for people that watch Pokemon and tournament battle shows, I think this one, I'm hoping it's doing a good job. I haven't seen a lot to compare, but for this one, it seems to hit all the right marks in terms of humor. And even with an epic battle in the background, sometimes it's the quiet moments that are just as much fun for me. M, any final thoughts?
Okay, so at the end of this episode, Kaguchi finally showed up without an MS, so we don't really know what's gonna happen. Maybe Camphor Amazing, or maybe even something else, because Camphor Amazing seems quite like powerless comparing to Build Strike and Kubili
The Papillon.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's a new MS showing up or something.
If I've learned anything, Char needs more than 2 MSs. He's
Yeah.
going to have more as we go, and they've got to
Naturally.
turn red again at some point. The big blasters on the back of the camp for Amazing may help make up for it, along with his just superior experience in terms of battle there. For me, I'm just excited about everything. Where are the friends going to go? What's Rage really up to? We get to see more of the Mysterious Girls and the Nemesis Corporation. I'm enjoying this every week, and I hope you guys are as well. So don't forget, GundamReviews.net, vote if you like the episode, and stick around for lots more Gunpla reviews and the occasional anime review, and by occasional I mean every week, with occasional silliness. Thanks for watching, everybody.
See ya.
Star Saber? Star Convoy? I'm surprised it's taken Bandai this long to slap the word star in front of one of their heroes.